A week ago today, the world learned of 6 more hostages found executed in a Gaza tunnel. Hundreds of thousands have taken to Israeli streets every day, demanding an end to the war. One of those is Gil Dickmann. His cousin, Carmel Gat, was one of those 6 lives brutally taken after she was kidnapped 11 months ago from her parents' kibbutz near the Gaza border on October 7th. Gil Dickmann is joining me now. Gil, thank you for coming on. I know this is not an easy time for you. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have not only suffered the loss of your cousin, but also her mother, who was killed in the October 7th attack. The first question I want to ask you is, how are you doing? How is your family doing?
Miserably. Our worst nightmare just came true. We were trying to warn everyone that that was about to happen. We knew that the life of Carmel was at risk, like the lives of all the hostages. And we knew that there was a deal on the table that actually had her name in it. She was supposed to come back on the 8th day of the November ceasefire, and the deal collapsed after day 7. And there was another deal on the table right now, just a month ago. Her name was on the list. Hirsch Goldberg Poland's name was also there. And I have to say, my prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, said to me in Washington just 1 month ago that he said no to this deal, knowing that he might sentence Carmel to death. And for me, I'm devastated that I did not do enough to save her life. We were trying to fight for her and for all the hostages for 11 months, and we failed. And I can't believe that we're still in this horrible situation where we have to fight for the lives of other hostages. There are still 101 hostages there that we have to save right now, and the deal is not going anywhere.
Gil, what was your reaction when Netanyahu says, no, this deal probably isn't going to go through?
I didn't believe it at first because they always tell us that the ones saying no are Hamas. And, you know, Hamas is a horrible terror organization run by a psychopath named Yahya Sinwar. He was in Israeli jail for murdering Palestinians. And I don't trust him to be the one in charge of getting the hostages back. I always thought that he was the one who will say no. But to hear that my own prime minister is saying no to a deal, that just, it was all darkness for me. I couldn't believe it. But right now, this is the situation we're in. That means that this war is now ran by two, there's no other way to say it, two psychopaths, Netanyahu and Sinwar, on both sides. And both of them don't care about the lives of their own citizens, not Israelis and not Palestinians. They want this war to go on and on and on for their own political and personal gain. And we pay the price. Now for Carmel, it's too late. We're not going to see her anymore. And this is, I can't tell you how painful it is. But for other hostages and for other innocent civilians, it is not too late. And we have to sign a deal right now.
Right now, we're looking at images from Tel Aviv where thousands of Israelis are protesting and trying to get those hostages home. Just a few hours ago, Benjamin Netanyahu, in reaction to this, said, no one's going to preach to me. So that just goes back to your point that nothing might change. I do want to ask you about the mood in Tel Aviv and across Israel right now. And of course, there's Netanyahu's comment saying, no one will preach to me on this issue.
Yeah, so he is actually saying out loud that he doesn't care what his own people thinks. He sees himself as the leader, the one true leader of the nation, and he doesn't need anyone to preach to him. When he says, no one will preach to me, he speaks about us, about the families of the hostages who were killed. He speaks about millions of Israelis who disagree with him. That means he is now acting just like a dictator. He chooses whether to sacrifice lives of more hostages, whether to keep the war going and to get them killed, just like happened to my own cousin, or to go and seal the deal like we want him to. He's going to decide it alone. And this is my cry as a family member of a hostage who was murdered just a week ago, for all nations of the earth and for the United States of America. put a stop to this.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.